Jesus is so good, and he heals in so many ways. There's instant healing. There's a healing that comes in stages. There's many instruments of healing that Jesus works through. And then lastly, there's a redemptive healing. Jesus heals the person, but sometimes he'll use the person who's suffering. And then other people actually experience healing while that person's suffering. And I want to point this out as a pattern in the Bible. You know, the Apostle Paul had a thorn in the flesh. He asked God to take it away. God said no. So he didn't have that healing that he desired. But then he discovered that in his weakness, God is powerful. And then God did amazing things through him, and he knew it wasn't him. He couldn't boast about it. And it was redemptive. Many lives were changed, even though Paul was weak and struggling in some areas and desired God's healing. Think about the cross. Jesus Christ brutally murdered, and through his sacrificial death, so many people experience salvation around the world. And you know, heaven is growing all the time, the population there, because more and more salvation is happening. Jesus suffered the ultimate price. He suffered, you know, the highest cost, but there was redemptive aspects to it, strong redemption, where so many people experienced the deepest healing through what Jesus suffered. And as you think about that picture, what about in your own life? Some of the most difficult things you go through are going to become the avenues that you reach out to other people, because you can relate. They're going to see you while you suffer and how you handle it, your character, your response. They're going to see your faith. And through those trials, other people's lives are going to be touched and changed. There's a way that Jesus works where, yes, he's working in the person and brings some healing, but he's also multiplying his work through all the other people that are affected, that see it, and maybe their prayer life increases. Maybe they get close to Jesus. Maybe they turn to him. Maybe they turn away from sin. Whatever it is, spiritual wake-up call, there's all these redemptive aspects that come that are a little bit mysterious, because with healing there's some mystery. God, it's his plan and his work, and we can't control God. But I've seen this so many times where when one person's suffering, yes, they're going to go through a lot. They're going to be tested to the core. But it's not just to wear everyone out. It's about the story that God's writing and how other lives are going to be changed, going to be brought to God, and there's going to be wholeness that happens through one person's suffering. And so this redemptive aspect is a way that Jesus works. And if somebody says to you, well, you know, everyone who follows Jesus, like, is just going to have instant healing. No, you got to step back biblically and say there is instant healing, but there's also in stages. And then there's different instruments. And then there's this redemptive aspect. It's multiplication and mysterious, but other people get healed while one person's still suffering. And God works in all these different ways. But all of it brings praise and glory to Jesus. He's our healer. He wants us to rely on him, look to him, trust him, and know he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's powerful with his healing and on all levels of our lives. So let's walk with Jesus together in our daily lives for eternity, following the Lord, but also open up our hearts to Jesus. He's our healer, and he'll bring healing. And when he does, tell your story, tell other people about the healer so they can experience Jesus too.